my crafty friends. It's kind of late at night, but I've kind of been goofing around all day. Well, not really goofing around. I've just had other things to do today, and I realized I really need to get these, the rest of these squares cut for this quilt that I am going to working on this week. So I have this little Spiderman quilt that I'm working on for a young gentleman that has turned 5 years old. So I've got this bright yellow color that I'm going to be cutting squares out. I have a royal blue that will be in some of the squares. And then again with the lime green for sashing. And then red will be the borders, because we all know that Spider-Man has red and blue in his outfit is red and blue. But in the focus fabric, you see that yellow. So that's why some of the blocks will be yellow with the Spider-Man and other blocks will be blue with Spider-Man. So when I don't necessarily have a printed pattern from online or somewhere, and I know I'm going to do like a basic 9 patch or 4 patch or something like that, what I do is I get out my grid paper and I draw the pattern so that I will know how many blocks I need going across and going down, and how much of each fabric that I need. Okay, so there's my basic pattern. I know how many sashes cut out. I don't have the sashing or the borders cut yet, but I need to iron the little squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the block pieces together as I iron them, so that all of my blocks will be kind of put together. Then I can just chain piece them once everything is ironed. So that, so here we go. And of course it's called a 9 piece because there are 9 little squares to each block. And I'm just pressing. I'm not really ironing. As always, when you're quilting, always do a 1/4 inch seam with a 2.5 inch stitch length. is block number 1. That's going to be very bright and very pretty. There it is. I hope you can see that really well. And let me pull it back here. Anyway, there is block number 1. That is what the yellow blocks will look like. Put the blue block together. Almost did an oops on this. And you know what? I did an oops. I put the seam on the wrong side. I sewed the wrong, I've got that seam on the wrong side. Let me rip that out and get that going the correct direction so we can get that on the right side there. Can't have the wrong side of the fabric showing on that quilt. Some fabrics, most fabrics, there is a right side and a wrong side. Some fabrics, there is not a right side and a wrong side, so it doesn't matter. Like the solids, not a right side or a wrong side, but with the prints, yes, there is. And I did a boo-boo. I did a oops. Sorry about that. Okay. And if you're wondering what I'm doing as I'm sewing, what I'm doing is I am flipping the seams to make sure that the seam, because you do not open your seams, you make sure that both pieces of fabric go to one side. So I want to make sure that that seam goes to the dark side, the dark fabric. Your seam always goes to the dark side, okay? So on this side of the strip, it's going this way. On the other side of the fabric, it goes that way. So I wanted to make sure that those two seams got nestled so that they meet in the middle like that. And that they're nice and neat. See how that works? Okay. So, anyway, there is that. One more strip to put on this block. And then I can show you what the blue blocks will look like. And then I have 10 more blocks to put together, which I probably will not finish tonight. It's getting very late. I am needing to prepare for something that I am doing tomorrow, so I will not finish this evening. I will continue this in the morning. I will do a few more tonight, though, probably. So, anyway, so okay. And if you hear a scraping noise, sorry, that's me moving the phone. Okay, so that's what the blue block looks like. Isn't that cute? And there's Spider-Man, and he's bouncing and jumping and all that. And here is what the yellow block looks like. So, and then when I get all the blocks, and it looks like the blocks, I have a ruler on the table on my sewing machine, so I can tell you approximately these blocks, unfinished, are going to be 12 by 12. So then I'm going to put 2.5-inch strips in between each block. And as I showed you, where is my drawing? I don't remember where I put that. Let me see, where did I put that? Anyway, there are 4 blocks across and 5 blocks down, so I'm doing 20 blocks. So this quilt will be approximately 60 inches wide by 72 inches long. So, because I want it to fit a twin size bed for a 5-year-old boy. So that's the approximate size that it's going to be. And I wanted to make sure that it was, that he could, and I'm going to quilt this on the machine, by the way. And I'm going to quilt it on the machine on purpose so that he can, if he wants to lay in the floor with it and roll around or just lay on his bed or whatever with it, then he can. I want him to be able to love on it as much as possible. So anyway, there are the 2 different color blocks. I'm going to continue with these. I'm going to make a few more while you are watching, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue with this in the morning. So let me pull that back up here. Let's do another yellow one. bobbin thread right at the end of that last little bit of stitching. That is something. That's what we that's what we call playing chicken with the bobbin thread. That's kind of funny. Alright, let me get this bobbin. But once I get these three rows of blocks finished, then I can then I will cut for the sashing. But I won't be able to put the entire quilt top together because, as I told you, I did not do my drawing before I purchased the fabric, so I did not purchase enough fabric. I needed at least 1/4 of a yard more than I purchased. So I am going to have to go back to Joann's and hopefully they will have the same fabric for me in the Spiderman. If not, that is quite okay. I can get a different fabric as long as it has Spiderman on it. And I can do 2 Spiderman fabrics in the same quilt. It's okay to do the mix and match. As long as it's cotton fabric, it's all right to play with it and see what I come up with. So that is what I will do. Pretty. I love the way this is coming out already. I absolutely adore it. It's wonderful. So that is it for this evening, folks. Thank you for hanging in with me. I will finish those other 2 rows of blocks in the morning, and I will see you then. Okay, let's see how long it takes to get this quilt done, start to finish. I have begun sewing the pieces together, so I will do sew those other 2 rows together tomorrow. Then I will cut the sashing and put the sashing in between the blocks. Of course, I cannot put the borders around the quilt yet because we don't have the stuff for the other 2 rows yet, but I will soon. All right. I will see you in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.